Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. I'm your host, Yolanda Greaves. On this lovely hot day in July, we look forward to bringing you today's show, which includes an interview with Rajit Gupta, our Director of Health here in Ashland, talking about some preventative measures that Ashland has put in place to help our residents with the heat. We also have the Select Board update for the meeting that happened on Wednesday, July 13th. And we have a couple of stops on our Around the Town tour, including Stone Park to listen to some great music for the Ashland Day Summer Concerts, and over to Culture Fest, a time of celebrating wonderful culture here in Ashland. So stay with us as I bring you Around the Clock. It's now time for our Around the Town tour. We have two stops. The first is going to be at Stone Park for the Ashland Day Summer Concerts. They are every Tuesday night. In July, they've been at 7 p.m. And we got to listen to Back Pages, which is the last band that performed, and they still have a few more coming up. And you heard Back Pages as we coming into this segment, so hopefully you enjoyed that. Let's take a listen to a little bit more. Summer concerts at Stone Park are always a fun event. It's great to see the residents out with their chairs and blankets and food, listening and enjoying the music. In August, the time changes. It does go to 6 p.m. And on one of the dates in August, it's the community band. So you can go to Ashland Day and check out the bands that are coming up, and maybe you'll get to enjoy in person and live a concert at Stone Park this summer. The next stop on our Around the Town tour is over at the Corner Spot for Culture Fest. This is an event that has become an annual event here in Ashland, and it really shows all the different cultures that we have and that are represented in Ashland. The live music and dancing, and of course some great food from both Umami and then also from Senti's Kitchen. There was a mister because it was a nice hot day, but we hopefully were able to cool off, lots of tents to keep people cool. Maybe you had the opportunity to go check it out as well. Let's go check out the Culture Fest.
bagpipes and music for to play. That's how they show their respect for man and faith. That's how they show their honor and their pride. They said it was just an shame when they winked at one another. But every chick in the face was more than I found hermaphrodite.
Hereby accept the position
of Chief of Police
of Chief of Police
in the town of Ashland,
in the town of
Massachusetts.
Ashland, Massachusetts.
Congratulations.
This is an around-the-clock special report. Today, July 12th, Ashland swore in its newest police chief. Welcome to Ashland, Chief Kara Rossi. Her official first day was back on July 5th, and a private ceremony was held to swear her in. At today's public swearing-in ceremony, there were many friends, family, and members of the Ashland Police Department and members of other towns' police departments as well to show their support. We heard from Michael Herbert talking about the whole hiring process, and then we heard from Chief Kara Rossi herself. We extend our best wishes to our newest chief, Kara Rossi, welcome her to Ashland, and look forward to the work she will do with our police department and our residents. Hello and welcome to Around the Clock. I'm your host, Yolanda Greaves. Today we are speaking with Rajit Gupta. He is our health director here in Ashland. Rajit, welcome back to Around the Clock.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me here.
So we have asked you in today to talk about the heat wave. We're seeing high temperatures for multiple days. What else should people be thinking about with this heat wave?
That's right. So the heat advisory is going on. MEMA have issued a heat advisory as of now. So what we're doing for it, right? We are setting up cooling stations in Ashland. We have a cooling station set up at. It's going to be set up at the public library in Ashland tomorrow from 10 to 5, and on Saturday it's from 9 to 4, and on Sunday it seems the temperature is going to be even higher. So we have set up a cooling station at Ashland Community Center, and it's going to be from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, so as people, if they don't have air conditioning or they just need a place to go that's cooler, so it'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday coming up.
That is correct. If somebody need to cool down, they can come there. We're going to have some bottled water available there, and these areas are air conditioned.
What are some things people can do? If they don't need to come to the cooling station, they're at home. What should people be thinking about in regards to trying to stay cool during this heat wave?
Absolutely. So major stuff. You want to drink a lot of fluids, but that should not include alcohol or drinks with a lot of caffeine and sugar. People should avoid that. Stay indoors. Stay out of sun. If possible, stay in air-conditioned rooms. If you don't have air conditioning, you can be at the lowest level of the house. Have some fan on. Other things, you definitely don't want to leave your kids or pets in the cars. Because the temperature can actually go up 20 degrees in 10 minutes. So that's one thing you definitely don't want to do.
Right.
Other than that, you should wear lightweight, loose-fitting clothes. That helps.
Okay. Before we had you on, we were talking about how we've had heat waves in the last couple of years, but we haven't really been able to do much because of COVID. Are there any concerns with bringing people together because of COVID right now?
I mean, officially there are no restrictions, but given what we are seeing with the current variant BA.5, I will advise people if they want to wear masks when they are indoor. It's just like extra caution, but officially there are no restrictions as of now.
Okay, good. Is this your first time, and certainly here in Ashland, dealing with a heat wave, or have you had to deal with something like this before?
Absolutely. I was here last year.
Okay.
We have kind of similar situation.
Yep.
So yes, this is my second year here in Ashland.
Yeah. Well, while we have you, real quick, I know we talked about the heat, but How are things going for you here in Ashland?
They're going good actually, So COVID have up and downs, that was keeping us busy for most of the year, Besides that, we were trying to do some good stuff for the community, We have put up a childhood vaccine clinic here in Ashland, that we have so far vaccinated around 61 kids. Out of that, majority was from Ashland, around 40 plus kids was Ashland, and some from Hudson. So it's great, I mean, those kids can go back to school,
Vaccinated.
That is correct.
Great. Well, Rajit, thank you for coming on and sharing with us the information about the heat. And I'm sure we'll have you on again at some future point to talk about other health-related issues here in Ashland.
Absolutely. Please reach out to us, a direct phone number at the health department is 508-532-7922.
Great.
And I just don't want to miss this, in case for the heat, anybody want to reach out, it's actually our fire captain, Captain Lynn Morahan, who is the contact for this.
Okay.
And she can be reached out at 508-881-2323.
Great. So thank you for that. If you're feeling the heat, make sure you reach out. Library will be open Friday, Saturday, and Friday and Saturday. Community Center will be open on Sunday, and reach out if you need any assistance. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much, Yolanda. I appreciate it.
Hello and welcome to the Select Board update for the meeting that happened on Wednesday, July 13th. I'm Yolanda Greaves to present it. We started at 6 o'clock in executive session. We voted on and approved some contracts that had been worked on between Michael Herbert and two of our unions. We opened at 7 p.m. in open session. We jumped into the recognition of Joanne Duffy, who is retiring after 20 years at our senior center as the director of our senior center and senior services. Joanne was loved by many, and it will be a true loss to the community to see her go. It was great to hear the recognition and the outpouring of thanks and support for her. So congratulations on Joanne Duffy on her retirement, and you will be missed by many. We then went into some scheduled appointments. We had a Class 2 public hearing for a new business over on Nickerson Road, 92B to be exact. It was a new owner coming in to do some car sales. All the paperwork was straightforward, and we approved that license. We also we moved up a discussion from our old new business of a potential parade for the fall of 2022. Thank you to Bill Gath for coming in and presenting this. There's a parade committee already formed. It's going to be an Ashland Pride committee, just recognizing all the fun and all the great things that we do here in Ashland. So if you're interested, reach out to Kate Jerzyk or Bill Gath to participate, and Gina Blinderman is also on that committee. Reach out to them to fill out a form and think about how you and your group can participate in Ashland's first full parade, just to recognize all the great things that our community does, and that was approved by the Select Board. We then went into a reconsideration of a designation of dangerous dog back in 2018. There was an issue between the dog Coco, owned by Kara Terrell and Ed Perry, and based on that time at the information that we had, the Select Board did designate it a dangerous dog between 2018 and now. We have heard that Coco is doing well and hasn't had any issues. And to help support Kara Terrell and her husband Ed Perry in what they want to do as foster parents, we have, with good information and with good thought, we have removed the dangerous dog designation from Coco. We then reviewed our reappointment process. If you are currently on a board or committee and your term is expiring at the end of August, you should have received an email from Susan Roby with a click for a form that you can fill out if you'd like to be reappointed. Please fill out that form and get it back so that we know you would like to be reappointed to the committee that you are currently on. If there are new people, we will review them as well, and then we will make our decisions at our last meeting in August. We discussed a few open meeting law complaints that we have been dealing with. Just talked through the process. There's still one or two that are open. We discussed the process for a master plan and timeline regarding a comprehensive plan. This is something you've been hearing about quite a bit here in Ashland. Back in 2016, 2017, we tried working on a comprehensive plan. That got about 90% through and it got stopped. Then Michael Herbert got tasked with doing a strategic plan. That went through till about 2019, and that got delayed and stopped. And now the planning board, which is charged with creating a comprehensive plan, has brought forward a process. We as the select board and Michael have sort of suggested not an opposite, but a way we can do this based on some other communities doing a unified plan where you work on a comprehensive plan and a strategic plan together. So that discussion is still going on how we're going to move this forward. But I would expect at either the fall town meeting or the spring town meeting, you'll see a request for funding to support that so we can get that plan up and going, which many people in the community have requested. We discussed we're going to be doing a retreat on August 3rd. We're going to have our regular session meeting on camera, and then we'll go off camera to do a retreat. It's still open to the public, but we do it off camera. We discussed a potential volunteer breakfast, but instead of a breakfast, we're looking at potentially doing an afternoon, and that will be further discussed at our August 3rd meeting, which we talked about. Nighttime work on Union Street, and for 5 to 7 nights in front of the public safety building. So as they're trying to tie the lines in that are there, they need to do some night work to make it happen so that traffic isn't impacted as much. We then talked about our priority projects. Public safety building furniture is coming in mid-August. The Mendez School concrete is being poured, and that project is moving forward. The Valentine project, we have money put aside. Unfortunately, the proposals that have come in are a little bit more than the budget that we had to do the roof and the foundation, so we're trying to figure out what to do there. And then over in the Warren District, you might start seeing work on the Hall House, which will be nice to get that redone. We had our town manager report. Energy procurement for Ashland facilities. We're finding ways to do that less expensively. Then community aggregation plan is tied into that. There was a quarterly newsletter. You should have gotten it in your local pages. Had all kinds of information from all the different town departments. That's something for you to hold on to. And there'll be other ones digitally, but make sure on that one you scan so you can get the email that the town manager sends out on a weekly basis. We accepted in open session the 2 different contracts between, or they're actually, the full title is Memorandum of Agreement or Memorandum of Understanding between a couple of different unions and the town, and those were all approved. Downtown is an area where you're seeing a little sign. I'm going to go back a little bit. They're still reviewing some things with the MBTA, but there's a lot of new work going on in Front Street with some granite curbing and some new sidewalks. And that was our meeting. We ended a little bit earlier than usual. We were missing 2 members, so Joe, feel better, and Rob, hope you enjoyed vacation. And that wraps up the Select Board update for the meeting that happened on Wednesday, July 13th. Our next story here on Around the Clock is the summer concert. We are full swing summer now that it's July. The summer concert had their first performances back in the last week of June. Always a fun event. Go head down to Stone Park, hear some great music. You can check on the Ashland Day website what the concerts are and who's performing. To sort of get a feel for what's going on with the summer concerts, as well as Ashland Day, which is the committee that organizes the summer concerts, we had the opportunity to hear from Joe Mignani, who is, I believe, a chair, and if not the chair, one of the longest members of the Ashland Day committee. Let's take a listen to what Joe had to say about the summer concerts and Ashland Day in general.
Well, welcome and good evening to this portion of WACA Around the Clock. I'm sorry Yolanda is not here listening to this great music this evening. We have Sentimental Over You, a Tommy Dorsey song, right over my left shoulder. The Tune Timers are playing this evening. Great band, if you like the old-time 40s band. Just a free concert being sponsored by the Ashland Day Event Committee, and we thank those who make it happen every year. The past couple of years, we've had a spotty schedule because of COVID, but this year we're going full swing. We have a complete list of bands that'll be playing this summer every Tuesday evening during July. We start at 7 o'clock. And just to name some of the bands that will be featured this July. And July 19th, Back Pages, another local band that everybody knows. And again, that's Back Pages. Their lead singer is Inky Fair, who comes from Framingham, and everybody knows that group from the late 70s and early 80s. And July 26th, we have the Flashback Band. They play all your golden oldies and favorites. August 2nd, we have a change. The change is in the hours. We start at 6:30 because it gets a little darker in August. So August 2nd, we start at 6:30, and we have the Community High School Concert Band that will be playing. August 9th is Roadhouse Band. They're August 9th. And August 16th, we're still looking for a band for that date, but that'll be announced sooner than later. And our last concert for the summer and for the season is Groovosaurus Rex, and that's another local band. Mark Walsh and his great group of musicians that play every year. They do a great job, and we're very honored and happy to afford all these concerts free of charge. And we thank the Ashland Day Event Committee. We thank the BAA funding for allowing this to happen with their support. And all the other groups are here. We have refreshing concessions that are here to offer fine refreshments for everybody that comes. All you need to do is bring a blanket and a friend and money for the refreshments. Other than that, everything else is free. I'd just like to make a quick comment about some of the things that have been said about the fact that Ashland Day isn't happening this year. And the reason for that is that decision was made in January when COVID was in full steam and full in effect, and the numbers were high, and we had no idea which way the pandemic was going to go. And for anybody that knows planning an event, it takes time, it takes effort, and things need to be done way in advance. And to have Ashland Day go, and we order all the necessary items for the day itself, just to let people know, it runs between $10,000 to $15,000 to hold an Ashland Day every year. And if we want more things, it costs a little bit more. So instead of losing our shirts with all the deposits, because once you book a group or you book whatever we need to put out here, you don't get that money back. And we don't have that type of money to spend, especially after the fact that we've already had, we've missed the season already, and we used the prior proceeds to help pay for the following year. So we're behind the gun with the funding with that. So I hope people understand that, and it's just not, oh yeah, let's do it, and it only takes a couple of weeks. It takes more than a couple of weeks. It takes months for that to happen. So I hope you understand that. I hope you appreciate that. And if you really want to get involved, then you want to become part of it, give me a call. My number's in the phone book. My name is Joe Magnani. It's 508-881-5205. And we'd be happy to welcome all new members who would love to participate and get Ashland Day 2023 up and off the ground. We start in January. We may even start sooner this year because we have to try to ascertain who's going to be available, who isn't going to be available, who our vendors are going to be, and we're working on it. And it's just not something that you can just say, okay, yeah, here's a number, we'll call and they'll be available. You have to make sure the availability of everyone and every group that wants to participate is available for that day. Ashland Day is always and has been the third Saturday in September. We've been doing it for 36 years. We had to postpone it the last 2 years, so we'd like to resurrect it again. And I hope you understand. I hope you have patience with all of those who take their time and effort to put on this event for the entire town.
A big thank you to Jack Emberley for going and getting the footage of the concert, as well as that interview with Joe Magnani. If you have any feedback, make sure you reach out to Joe and or here at WACA-TV, and we will pass it on. But I guess what I think is the most important aspect from listening to Joe is get involved. Ashland Day takes a lot of people, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. If you have a few extra hours that you're willing to spend at a meeting and to help get this going again for other years, make sure you reach out to the Ashland Day Committee.
I've had a road of my
Next on Around the Clock, we have an update from the Valentine Forum that happened on Wednesday, June 29th. It was an in-person hybrid presentation. Michael Herbert, our town manager, presented some of the information, the history of the Valentine property. There was a good turnout in the select board meeting room as well as via Zoom. A lot of good input, a lot of good discussion. Michael took us through the history, some of the work that's been done on the project, where it stands right now. And where it stands right now, I think, is the key point that people need to know. An RFP has gone out to do the roof repair and the foundation repair that has been identified. From the input we got from members of the community that were there, people just want to see the repair done and then work done to see how we can use the property moving forward. Kate Valentine, who is a descendant of the Valentines who owned the property originally, spoke. She has presented a potential idea for the property that includes a performance venue and using the space, the house, for different things. The good thing is you can go to the town website, and if you get the town manager's email, you would have gotten a direct link, and we're putting it here in the story, that you can go do a couple of things. You can go look at the proposal that was put forward by Kate Valentine, as well as read some of the other information and documents related to the property. Restriction for conservation and historic are still being worked on, and those will be put on the property because we bought the property with some CPC funding, some for historic and some for open space. Right now we're at a information gathering response from the public phase. We want to move this forward due to COVID and other things. It's been a few years since things have moved on this project, and I think the big majority of the public, or at least the public that we're hearing from, want to see something done with this property. And that was very well versed at the forum. Go take a look. Give us your feedback. Email the select board, email town manager. Send us your thoughts on what you would like to see on this property, and then be on the lookout for the next forum. And that's the update for the Valentine Forum that happened on June 29th.